and our 4th week of the first tour. We're over the halfway marker, and now it's time to start kicking in the clutch. Maybe at least remember to change the gears as we do, because now it's go time. With T-Panda and Kips here at the cast and the commentary, we've got 2 great series off today. But first, before we dive into the action, Kips, it's great to see you once again. How was your New Year's?
It's been great, actually. We've had a week of extraordinary weather in Spain, so I've just been sitting on the balcony in my t-shirt. It's been unbelievable.
Well, you got me jealous already at this point, because my sister also went to Spain, and I think a couple of my other friends went to Spain, and friends went to Spain, so I feel like Spain's the place to go to, so I believe your word for it. How hot is it there right now?
Well, today temperatures dropped again, and it froze for about 4 degrees, but last week it was 15 to 20 in the sun.
Solid. That's pretty nice. I'm pretty jelly about that. We're -10 here in Finland right now, and wherever you're watching from right now, we are heading over to SA with an evening game. You might be waking up, you might be in the middle of the night, but you're most welcome to watching, because we have Balrogs versus Unknown Team, and we actually have a draft going on, so let's see what's going on with the hero picks and bans so far. And I want to bring up something pretty interesting now that we're looking at these 2 teams. The series we're going to be watching after, we're going to be talking a lot more about Omega and Infinity. But with these 2, Unknown, the bottom team, Balrogs is right now in 2nd place, tied with Gorilla's Pride. You want to know what an interesting statistic I actually found? This is from Spectral's statistics website. Balrogs has the highest map pings average of 290 per game, and the lowest is on Unknown side, 145. What do you think about that?
Interesting. So
that's double.
Usually high pings are usually drilled up by like one player pinging a lot. It's like, for example, Ice. There's players who basically communicate through pings. They say nothing, they just ping everything. If you have 2 of them, which Balrogs probably does, then I can see you ending up in a spot like that. And I guess Unknown has none of them.
Yeah, Unknown has exactly half, so 145 times 2 is the same number that Balrogs has right now. So you can almost start to think about 290 pings is almost the same amount of actions per minute average for an average Dota player. So think about if that was one guy, all of his actions inside a game is just literally spamming ping. So that works.
5 seconds remain.
Also entirely possible.
Also another interesting thought here. Balrogs, they decided to pick up the Radiant side. Even though Unknown, they only have 1 map victory so far. During the course of this series, maybe even map 2, would they decide to take Radiant for themselves? Because Balrogs has a 33% win rate on Dire, so that's already further on into the future. Something we might look at. But let's talk heroes, Kips. We have an OD first pick.
Let's talk heroes.
And a lot of stuns on the board.
We do, yes. An interesting opener, honestly. I'm usually expecting OD later on in the game, where you can actually get a laning matchup that you can abuse and then push through, of course, with the Meteor Hammer. It also usually invites Lina picks. And honestly, after the China matches I've been watching, I was expecting Lina to be in every single game. And I might be right still, but to not see her picked up after an OD is interesting, because she's usually very good follow-up for him, and she wins every single lane she is in right now.
Yeah, Lina is not that contested, actually. Only 6 hero picks so far, 2 bans. But yeah, it's very surprising because, like you said, China, they love picking Lina. I think in even Europe, they like to pick Lina from time to time. So not as meta as compared to China, because I feel like that's their number 1 to go-to hero alongside Tinker. Those 2 seem to be very, very popular in the region. What else was that? There was another hero I had on my mind. I think if we're looking at SA, we might still be following the old trends of the last 2-3 months of Weaver, Mars, Medusa. And, well, Medusa's banned. Weaver and Mars are in the pool, though.
10 seconds.
I don't see a Mars. I guess Unknown Team would be interested in not having it over on Balrogs. Mars messes up Gyrocopter pretty royally.
The reason why I bring them up is they have been in every single 36 games so far, either picked or banned. So
Yep.
This would be the breaking
Team
point.
are now picking.
A sudden shift. Well, Weaver would fit perfectly with Unknown here. You already have a support with a lot of mobility who can stun. Your Gyrocopter really likes having AoE minus armor onto everybody. The bugs are still broken. And of course, if you're doing all eggs in the one carry basket, then the Weaver
Only
Aghanims,
10
where you will
seconds.
indubitably end up, fits excellently as well. So
5
would
seconds.
not be
Hurry,
surprised to
hurry.
see Unknown's team still going for it here.
Yeah, could be. Balrogs also, if they do put this Abaddon either into offlane or post 5, they could put ZXCA, who has been playing Weaver before. It's actually his most played hero. He's played 4 games so far, 75% win rate, which is pretty decent. I don't think it still looks like a bad pick because the Centaur's out there, and he's the only one who's reliably going to be catching it with the Blink stun. So he's got, I think the Weaver's got a lot of free roam.
Yeah, absolutely for both teams here. I'm just kind of this centaur pick. The only reason I saw this in the
5
previous half of the
seconds
DPC
remain.
is when there was a razor on the board, and you want to disengage from that link. Make sure that no matter who gets linked, you actually get out. Not successful in any other situations, but here they're just straight up picking it without even knowing their matchup as well, which can be very rough for a centaur these days because he's not one of the Helm of Iron Will builders, so he doesn't get that that natural armor boost really. Into his own builds. You usually go for a Vanguard into Blink. I'm
Team are now picking.
yeah, and there's the Mars. Very good versus Gyrocopter. Great burst for him as well. Great way to stay on top of him. And of course, when the flag activates and you activate your Bulwark, your team is going to be spared so much damage.
Yep, that's solid pick up
10
there.
seconds to pick.
Mars, Abaddon, OD. You've got kind of protection
5
for this
seconds.
OD
Hurry,
now.
hurry.
You've got the arena to block the right clicks from the Gyrocopter, so flag cannon has been diminished just by a tiny bit for a couple seconds at least. If you time it at the same time, or even focus the Gyrocopter inside the arena, nobody else is going to get hit by it except the Mars. So you kind of have to think it. Even if you have a BKB to get yourself out of there, you're still playing a range core whose attacks are still going to get blocked, even if you get yourself into safety. So I think that's why the Mars really fits in nicely for Balrogs.
Yeah, and versus the Centaur as well. Like you can't disengage out of arena with that. You're just gonna bunch straight off of the walls. So feels really good to be Balrogs right here. They've really secured their team fights between the OD and the Mars, and now they can pick whatever they want. It's gonna be a Hoodwink.
Interesting. So I think that's ZXCA's hero Hoodwink with the Mars offlane. I like this duo. Pretty standard offlane harassment duo, you could almost say. They do a lot of damage, good control, double stuns.
Only 10 seconds.
Work very well with trees, both of them.
Yeah.
5 seconds. Hurry, hurry.
It really increases the Hoodwink's damage to always have a tree near. Mars is going to spear people right on into them. Feels good.
And now with the Abaddon also taken away, Gyro doesn't have that protective hero right now, so they're going to go for Queen of Pain. Does that mean Unknown is actually leaving support for last pick, or are they playing support Gyrocopter and then going with a carry for the last pick? Some shenanigans definitely in the air.
Yeah, this could be a
10
decent
seconds to pick.
switch for the Gyrocopter towards the support position. You're still going to be
5
unhappy with
seconds
playing it,
remain.
of course, because, for example,
Yeah.
your missile is not going to do that much versus an OD.
And
But
an
at the very
Abaddon.
least, you won't have the matchup problem versus the Mars. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I think you're correct here. This is probably a switch into Gyrocopter support.
At least that's what they do in Europe. Let's do it. They do it in SA. Dawnbreaker ban. That's a frisky one. Actually, reminding me of Dawnbreaker, I was looking at the uncontested heroes for Eastern European 2nd Division.
Only 10
Dawnbreaker is one of those heroes that's not played at all, but in Division 1 and in SCA in
5
China, they
seconds
love this
remain.
hero.
SA of quite a few of Dawnbreaker picks, but I haven't really seen it impress yet. Like there have been 1 or 2 players on the support Dawnbreaker who have been insanely valuable, really leveraging that tankiness.
Yeah.
But especially in core roles, I haven't seen it pop off yet.
Yeah. At least some of the heroes are looking pretty similar. also 34 uncontested heroes. We went to 33 today in Eastern Europe. But for SA, I'm surprised there's no Wraith King picks. There's no Enigma picks. What else is there? I'm kind of looking at the general direction of like Venge, Pudge, Spectre, Lycan. Like none of these heroes have been banned or picked by anyone in SA Div 2.
5 seconds. Hurry, hurry.
I could see a Lycan offlane happening. Spectre... Wait, Spectre hasn't been tried yet? I guess that must have been Division 1 then.
Could be.
Yeah, pretty sure Spectre has seen play in SA, just not in Division 2.
Yeah, that must be a Division 1
by the way,
pick then.
Balrogs are really... they know that this gyrocopter might be switched out here. They got a PL ban at the ready there. Still, there's a couple of heroes left that you would normally pick against Mars. The Phantom Assassin is, for example, still available. The Morphling is still available. Razor and Ursa bans. Looks more like a Medusa, though, which is then you still run into the Mars problem, just in a different way. Oh, wait, no, she's banned.
Yeah, she was banned at the start. But yeah, something similar to Medusa. Yeah, you got Luna, which does, well, something of the same, but still quite not.
10 seconds to pick. 5 seconds remaining.
I guess my vote goes towards the PA then, although the Razor ban is kinda... Could also be a Wraith King.
If you put Gyrocopter support, you could go Spectre here. But I also kind of a bit worried about the trading potential for the Gyrocopter to actually keep Spectre safe from Mars Hoodwink. These guys will love the brawl. Spectre, not so much.
Oh, yeah. Mars Hood is just such a strong lane. They have so much spam, they have so much reach.
Gonna take it all the way down to the final seconds. Unknown randoming a hero, not necessarily. Yeah, they go with the PA. You were right on that one. So we get ourselves a Phantom Assassin as the carry for Unknown. That also means that Feeling will be popping the support Gyrocopter. Moonlight on Earth Spirit Soul with the co-op offlane Centaur. And Balrogs, well, I think they have a very straightforward, pretty simple-ish draft. They know their timings, their windows, their activity. Mainly comes through the Mars and the OD. Can the Mars make some space for the OD to make space for the Luna, and then they basically end the game with Luna. Technically, that's the game plan for Balrogs. What do you like about Unknown's draft, though, Kips? Or is it like...
Very good engagement. They have very good jump. So between the Earth Spirit, the Centaur, the Queen, and actually the Phantom Assassin as well, if they have good vision this game, they can really pick and choose their targets. It's going to be hard, though, to not fully engage for them, because if Robo-Z is in position, you can always save the first target and then counter-engage with the Mars, for example. So whoever Unknown team decide to go on with all of the jump, they really need to make it last, because otherwise they're going to be engaged into a fight where Balrogs definitely have the team fight advantage. But they certainly have options. I'm just worried about this Centaur pick, really. I haven't really seen it work out in any way but against the Razor. And or if you really snowball off and you get to play up front with it, be really tanky, be a thorn in people's side, and just attract all of the attention, which is not a playstyle I've seen anyone but, I guess, Tavo pull off, and he's only very recently switched to it.
Yeah. Centaur is actually sitting in a pretty good win percent right now in terms of the division. 10 picks, 70% is actually pretty high for a win rate. So if numbers are to be trusted, Unknown has a pretty good draft in terms of numbers on their end. The rest, they really need to just bring out in skill. And talking about skill, Balrogs has plenty of that to share. So this is going to be a difficult challenge, nonetheless, for Team Unknown. If they want to look for their first victory, this would be the one to do it, because you're sitting at 0-4. One victory might be enough to push you into 6th place and fight for a tiebreaker. But if you lose this one, it does look like you're indefinitely out of the 2nd division. So there's something at stake. Balrogs with a win, they would go to 4-1. Still not as pristine as Infinity, 4-0. But outside of that, still
1
keeping them
minute
up
until 30
in the
seconds
potential
after
second spot for the upper division. They're looking pretty good. They have been looking pretty hot for the last 3 weeks. Have they kept up that tempo? What do you think, Kips? Do we get a 3-map series out of this one? Is Unknown capable of stretching it out with this first map?
I'd be surprised. I've seen Balrogs, I mean, I've seen them qualify through the open qualifiers first off, and they looked very mentally strong as well, because they had to cede to the first qualifier spot to Wolf Team. Never bothered by any of it. And especially RoboZ has been an absolute beast. Really enjoyed watching him play.
I think RoboZ's been popping some pretty good statistics on the board. Very effective player for their team, if you could put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can bring some more accurate numbers of him as soon as we get this mid matchup rolling out with Soul and RoboZ co-op with the OD. We've seen some ODs more and more frequently being picked into this mid lane. So looking at RoboZ, he's got some pretty good numbers here to prove up for himself. 622 XPM averages, 63.8 last hits at 10. So talking about a mid hero with OD, for example, if you hit to like 60, 70 CS, that's okay. But with the OD type hero, pick up an early meteor hammer, get that early push going on, can be very valuable for your team.
And he is really going all in on the trading with this squad, who has a dagger level, which is going to be a little bit of a nuisance for OBZ here, but he's got the Essence Flux, he's got the Arcane Orb. And he's just making sure he can secure all of the last hits, and he's just tanking whatever Soul throws at him right now.
Arcane Orb is a pretty scary ability these days, especially considering how well OD scales and how good of a Roche hero he actually is. I think it was one of the Division 1 games in Europe that was going on a couple days ago, where OD was just slapping Roche for like heavy percentage per right click.
Yep, especially if you get yourself an Ogre Magi, it slaps. It feels so good.
It does feel good. It's like you're going to be one of the happiest men or ladies on the server as you pick that up. They don't have an Ogre, at least in this game. Actually, fun fact is they don't really have any auras, except for the debuff applied by the Abaddon with the silence.
Hey, are you dissing my girl Luna?
I'm just thinking... it doesn't really benefit the OD that much, though.
No,
just
it
a bit.
doesn't.
Just a bit.
Oh, was it? Okay, never mind. Everyone just
I guess if you get the global lunar blessing, maybe it still adds up a little bit, but it's still mana based. I mean, while in the bot lane greedy, he's already used up his salve, and looking at this Luna in particular, pretty surprising that the Abaddon and the Luna actually get themselves a free first wave. Well, it's already scored a first blood.
Ouch. In the trees, against the Hoodwink. He got speared into there. Nothing you can do, really. The Gyrocopter isn't that tanky until you get a couple of levels up. And maybe a fluffy hat or two. Maybe a brace or something like that.
I actually really like the combo here of Acorn Shot into Bushwhack, and then you follow it up with a spear onto the same tree.
It feels so good. So yeah, this PA not going to have nearly as free of a lane as Burna does on the bottom side.
Yeah, already making a big difference. Luna with 12 CS, PA with 5. Missing Gyrocopter there for the early seconds is definitely going to hurt this PA, because now Mars is getting ahead. And over half a level ahead already.
Yep. And it's just going to get worse. He is nearly to the Helm of Iron Will, and that's where the PA herself barely can do any damage to him anymore. And this Gyrocopter, his damage is mostly Rocket Barrage right now. You need to get up close and personal with the Mars in order to get the damage out. I don't think he wants to do that.
I can also see Phantom Assassins just straight up lining the Battle Fury too. It's like, oh hell no, can't go for boots, can't build anything in between, no stat items, nothing whatsoever. Just straight up Battle Fury. And hope it pays off.
Exactly. If you try to itemize your way out of this lane, you're just itemizing yourself into a money hole. You're spending...
Yeah.
You're not going to win it.
not really a pot of gold. Moonlight is also found at bottom. In the middle of the lane even. So Burna. 6 Joke finding some extra money for themselves. Not that this lane was already going well for the Luna. It's going even better now.
And this is what I was worried about with the Centaur pick blind, is you just leave yourself open to, well, whatever the enemy wants. Luna, if you have an actual combative bot laner, pretty easy to kill, but you don't. You're static.
Fun fact, we may have missed every single kill so far in camera, so that's how surprising they actually are here from Balrogs. Wasn't expecting them to come in this hot. They're definitely making them pay for it. Yeah, that's a good point that you bring out. Because I was thinking about our interview today with Ascult when they were discussing with Harry Freak about Underlord. Like, when do you pick Underlord, for example? And it's like, you don't...
Never.
You pick Underlord into Illusion Heroes. You don't pick Underlord into nothing, kind of. So, I think we're in a similar situation here with the Centaur.
Definitely agreed.
He's a pretty common last pick as well for some teams. So like last picking your offlaner, you go for Centaur when it's like there's no awesome offlane hero to go for, so you just pick this basic versatile hero that you're happy to play with. But early picking a Centaur, it does feel kind of off.
He lives this one. If he jukes.
If he jukes, that is. Well, got his regen up, but still not enough. Burna's second kill even forces the Earth Spirit to show up again a bit too late for the party, though. Abaddon goes all the way back home. Very strong first 5 minutes from Balrogs, already 1,000 gold up ahead.
And now you get into the position where once his Quap hits level 6, she really wants to rotate, help one of these side lanes out. But that's precisely when the Meteor Hammer on the OD is going to come in, and she's going to start losing valuable HP on her mid tower. It's going to hurt one way or another. Balrog's going to squeeze them.
It does. And Robozy also with the Arcane Orb, he's able to destroy the potential 10-minute catapult as well in just a matter of seconds because he just does so much pure damage to it. Wop doesn't have that capability for it. Bushwhack onto the PA. Draken goes in for the spear. Bit of harassing damage there. 13 stick charges picked up too. Action rune on the bottom half though. At least this one goes for soul. Maybe you can do something with it. Not necessarily right away, but maybe later on.
So ideally the option for Soul here is to not rotate and get a kill over onto this OD, but I think he needs the help of at least one support for that. And Moonlight already made his way back to bottom where the Centaur really can't lane. He's just, he's pulling
3 people in the top lane, and Abaddon is also here. They just felt easy leaving the Luna all by himself. That spear connects between 2 trees into the further one, but it doesn't matter. It's still a kill for Balrogs anyway. I mean, I'm wondering, how do you manage to miss the trees in there? There's just a sentry ward in between,
Argus
but they found the PA.
PA.
Argus, double kill for the Mars. Yeah, they're celebrating. This is the reason why this team is 3-1 right now.
They look so smooth. All 3 cores and all 3 lanes, and actually their supporting cast has been great as well. It's really hard to find any fault in them, and they've been looking for us. Here's rotation onto mid.
Yep, and they have the Sonic Wave. They're gonna get to use it. They don't have to use it, but they probably should because they're gonna turn it around there for a second. That hurts. It's gonna cost at least the life of 1 hero. The XA up the chase on the gyrocopter, feeling dropping low. They've got the Stampede Soul wants to get the right click damage out of that one, but he's also going to push back into the tree. He's down to 20 HP. Quickly goes for the blink out, and he is safe. But that was a bit risky.
Good. Teams Unknown realizes that they don't want to leave that mid lane, and Balrogs recognize that at pretty much the same time. And that does leave RoboZ now with a wave to push an opponent who's not going anywhere. And he'd really like to start hitting that tower, but now the Quap's not going to go anywhere.
Also, Luna was moving away from the lane momentarily. He finds the Centaur in the jungle, steals every jungle last hit from him, making the Centaur feel even more miserable.
Oh, Moonlight's only level 2.
Yeah, but look at the amount of damage he's taking. He's going to have to roll out after this one. It gets blocked as well by the Luna. How did Berna get the block on that? He was so far behind him. Still gets the block on it. Damn, that has to be so pixel perfect from the Luna.
My god.
Ooh.
I mean, I'm dropping frames like mad here, so honestly, I couldn't tell you.
That's alright, that's
It
alright.
looked even weirder on my screen.
It probably did. The Luna was literally like 2 yards behind the target and still somehow managed to block the roll. And now Greedy is also in trouble, down to 380 HP. Not enough for a kill, but Burn able to push him away. ZXCA is also rotated through here with the Hoodwink. Meanwhile,
Oh, wow.
Quap actually dies to a Meteor Hammer tick. Well,
I was
Sharpshooter
not
for
expecting
Greedy.
that.
Yeah, these kills are coming in so fast, it's hard to keep up.
Yeah, they're getting under leveled on the side of Unknown now as well. It's one of the reasons why they're dying so fast, is their HP pools are just not keeping up.
I believe Team Unknown is, well, I don't know if you can really say living up to their name here, but Draken, tanky Mars, but not tanky enough to keep these heroes on him. He's actually isolated two of them outside of the arena and might actually live for this one because of it. He actually does. Now here comes RoboZ, and ZXCA is also here with a Hoodwink, trying to catch at least one hero here. Gyrocopter's already down. Arceus wants to go in. Very optimistic, but this is not going to work out. She's dead. Sonic Wave does connect onto 2. Soul will find a double kill at least. Now dueling with the OD. OD still has the hammer. Not the Meteor Hammer, the other hammer available. Forcing the Quap to run away. She's going to find himself a bounty rune to move out. Doesn't quite get the prison through. Burna coming in from the side. Lucent Beam mini stun. Bushwhack doesn't quite connect. And OD even TPs under the tower, but still going to be able to catch him. Meteor Hammer is going to be connecting onto Soul. Or not. Dodges or disjoints the orb too. And that's the end of that long chase. As they finally hunt down the Quap. 2 for 4.
Great respect for the PA's sheer commitment there. Like, if she goes in, the enemy groups up and they get that Quap ult. If she doesn't do that, that fight might end up even worse. Because she's just going to get chased down. I don't think she actually lives.
She just teleported to the lane. And she's gone again.
And
so,
and she switched out of the Battle Fury. This is how desperate we're getting here. This is going to be the Maelstrom build-up now.
Oh boy, this is the Maelstrom PA which I saw in TI when Matumba Man built it and they lost the game. That was actually nothing to say, playing a pretty mean Tinker.
Yes, it's a pretty wild game. But no, I think it's a valid build for the PA, but you're really locking yourself into fight early mode. I think it's the correct play in this game. Because they're not going to give you time, T-Panda.
Yeah, there's no time, there's no space, there's no universe to live in right now. As they're just being hunted one by one. They're so under-leveled. There's a level 10 OD poking a level 5 and 6 Earth Spirit and Gyrocopter. Get out of my lane. Even the Gyrocopter usually says get out of my lawn, but there's no lawn to own anymore. This tier 1 tower is also being chewed by Burna. Moonlight tries to keep the creeps away from it, but also doesn't get aggro on them. So that tower's down. That goes for RoboZ, and it's a 6,000 gold lead. Meanwhile, Arceus in top. He's down to 200 HP. Draken forced away with the slow Sharpshooter. It's going to be a bit off the mark. Not actually very close to connecting. I wasn't suspecting the range to be that long, but it didn't quite connect.
Upon a loyal warrior.
Look at this. One support versus another. A level 8 versus a level 5.
Bonk. Well, has to be the most one-sided game I've seen in DPC so far, but it's definitely a showing from Balrogs that they came prepared, they're ready. We can technically already start looking at the second game of this series, because Balrogs are definitely, at this pace, the way that they're playing right now, they're not going to let go.
Yeah, and it feels so rough to say, right? But I've seen this team snowball before, and especially I want to highlight here Burna, who's been playing Razor for most of the start of this DPC. This man is a tempo player. He doesn't sit back and farm unless he knows that his team absolutely does not need him whatsoever. He showed up to that mid fight as well, and he's going to keep on showing up. There's no way that Team Unknown gets left on alone for long enough.
Yeah. I guess that's a nice variation as well for a Luna player to be playing more active with the team instead of just sitting in the jungle and farming when you're up ahead the opponents. So really really participating with the team. Quap, first item BKB. Ogre Club has been built very far away from the rest of the pieces, but it's something because I feel like Quap is being hurt by magical damage right now. So if that BKB works out, it does buy Unknown some time to still keep them in the game.
It does. And he has the full levels in the Scream of Pain now, so this is where his farming speed is going to start kicking off, but he's really the only one who can make plays right now. The Centaur does have a Blink Dagger, but I think that if he goes in, the OD just absolutely shreds him.
Yeah, unless they shred the OD first, which is an option, but Abaddon is also there to save him. Having such a lead like this really makes your Abaddon players smile that this game is so easy for me to play now, right? This is such an easy Abaddon game for him.
Yeah, normally when you're behind as an Abaddon, you need to start scouting, you need to throw your body at people, like get information with your borrowed time and hope they don't punish you for it. And now you can just sit behind his cores and be a walking fountain. This is how I love to play Abaddon. The good old Soul Ring days. You just sit behind him with your tranks. Spam out your spells.
Spam your spells and keep your teammates alive. The main role the Abaddon was... Yeah, the main role the Abaddon was created for. Just chill. Kind of like playing a hunter with a pet in a role-playing game, you know. You send them in and get a cup of coffee.
Yeah. Cigar.
Close, but no cigar. At least into the Roche Pit they go, and they're contesting it. Unknown is actually prepared for it, but ZXCA does bite. Oh, look at that. Look at that. What a beautiful bushwhack. That's one gone. That's... Never mind. Moonlight actually rolls out of the arena. Still doesn't matter. They're inside the pit to continue this Roche down. And, well, we found the enemy ward, but we paid the gyrocopter's life with it.
There's still a hammer to be worried about. I do think that they could have gone for more there. Honestly, the ult spent there for just a gyrocopter kill. I think there was an opportunity for Unknown there, but it's hard because you lost the only hero that you're willing to throw in order to get information, and now you can't see anything anymore, and you're fighting under a Radiant ward. It's a hard call to make.
Now they can just take over the enemy jungle, start just passively pushing in these lanes, start to take towers down. Get some good benefit out of that Aegis. Ooh, very nice preemptive pushback attempt there from ZXCA, but the stun from the Centaur will connect onto the OD. They also got themselves the Magnetize on the back line. It's connecting onto a couple. Hoodwink trying to take a duel versus Moonlight. Moonlight really desperate for this kill. He's even throwing in more and more remnants to try and get that one. They have already lost their Centaur. And Moonlight is also out. He couldn't quite finish off the Hoodwink, so that's just one hero out. And Unknown, well, he's going to be back up in 20 seconds at least. Trying to haste. He's found the gyro. Hello. Oh. Well, we have a saying in Finland that your accuracy is so bad that you can't even hit the barn door.
Ah, yeah. Couldn't hit the broadside of a barn.
Yeah, that's the one. So, yeah, Draken throwing his spear between 3 trees.
So, the thing that worries me here is that we've seen 2 fights now where they throw the gyrocopter.
What is not worrying you, Kips?
Balrog stonks. Balrog stonks are to the moon.
No, those are
anyway,
good.
2 fights, 0 Quap ults. This is their most powerful nuke right now, and they can't decide who to throw it on. They don't get the opportunity. The Luna without a BKB was sitting in the middle of that fight, and they're like, yeah, we don't want to throw it on the Aegis, so I guess we just don't throw it at all. And that's... You gotta get something done when you fight. You can't just walk up there or bait out the fight and decide that you don't want it after all.
This might be it. The low HP Mars. Rocket is on its way. Rocket to the moon. Here comes Soul. Hunting down this Hoodwink, and Sexy coming up with a heal, but the Sonic Wave is now used onto 2. They finally get the support out of the way. Feeling is the one to get the money for it. Now onto Draken, misses the bonk. Moonlight with Soul, another armlet dodge coming out as well. The Stampede is there, and they finally surround the Mars to get the kill. The OD Hammer on as well onto 1. That's going to be 3 going down. Moonlight, Arceus, they're disengaging from it. Unknown making it a 2-for-1 at the cost of a Centaur. Sadly, the money goes for the gyrocopter, but kills are still kills, and they need more of them.
Where's my pension?
That was probably the best possible outcome for Unknown. Very good read on the fact that the enemy team was completely split up there, but it takes the Mars so long to die still.
Bless you,
Oh,
sword.
it's so perfect.
That's the way the OD thanks for this one. Out of there. Now they can push mid.
Yep, that's an Aegis Luna on your high ground. No matter how hard you tried. I mean, it was always going to end up here, wasn't it?
Much.
Burna is so huge. Like, he's skipping the BKB. He doesn't care. He's getting a Scotty.
Tries to deny the tower. Doesn't quite work out, but still, these glaives, they're even chewing the tier 4 towers for a bit of damage. One glaive is doing about 3 damage, though, so at this pace, they're safe. It's going to take them quite a while, but those mid-racks, they're not as fortunate. Unknown, smoking in from the side. Already got themselves a speared Argus. And that's just how fast it just all comes apart. Feeling is also trying to move away. Not as lucky.
Oh, no.
Robozy, he's already got the prison connected. And Centaur's gonna get speared up, pinned onto the wall. Moonlight going for another, trying to escape out of this one. Burna. He needs one more good Lucent Beam, but he's not gonna get it this time. So they are moving out. And still keeping their eyes on the prize. Potentially the tier 4 towers even. Yep, looks like they could potentially start looking at ending the game. They would like to have some more.
This is a DD Quap and she can't do anything. She goes in, she dies.
Blink Stun is ready. Quap's Sonic Wave is ready. Arceus. He's got Maelstrom. An Ogre Club. 500 gold short for the BKB. Balrogs, they smoked up right outside of the base. Even if they know they're there, they don't know where exactly. Again, the OD. How does he get these? Bushwhack on 2. Gyrocopter pinned down on the low ground. Moonlight attempting to make an escape for it, but those those glaives, they really
timing
hurt
out
as well. Greedy finds the stun onto the Luna, and there's the Aegis expiring. They've waited for its soul, looking for the Sonic Wave, but no Quap ulti, not today, not in this game. GG is called. 20 fast minutes have passed, and Balrogs will take the first one out of this best of 3.
Clinical. Really. That's one hell of a way to wake up out of your Christmas break. My god, Unknown just got held up by their ankles into the cold water.
Yeah, that's quite the something. I'm not sure if the sun in Spain was nice, but they were definitely thrown into very freezing ocean water, or you could almost say in a frozen lake at this point, because Unknown, very ill awakening for the New Year's here. 5 kills, Balrogs, Luna, Burna 604, pristine performance here. RoboZ, we talked some good stuff about this guy. Well, he lived up to it in this series, but to be honest, they didn't really face that much of a challenge from Unknown team.
No, and we were talking before the series, right, about how right now the lanes don't matter that much. As long as you don't lose all 3 of them, there's usually a lot of slowdown mechanics in the game that make it possible to farm your way back into it. But Unknown lost all 3 of their lanes, and I think that's just really partially down to the draft. The centaur pick didn't give them a good chance. The gyrocopter flex pick was read very well by Balrogs. So they didn't really give themselves an opportunity to get a grip on this game.
True. I mean, there was nothing to hold on to, you could almost say. Like, no Sonic Waves. That one aggressive play from Arceus, which caught the attention of Balrogs for Soul to get that double kill of the Sonic Wave. That was a good indicator of sacrificial play to enable another hero at a very, very grave cost, which was the Phantom Assassin. But still, if they get more of those plays when the situation is more even, that's when you're looking at a really good Dota game where there's no fear of losing, and that's when you start to create good stuff, when you're not afraid to lose, when you're playing aggressively, but also knowing that we need to do this to make it play. Your sights are set on the goal, so to say.
Yeah, and I think this is an indicator that Unknown team is capable of doing that, but they got to give themselves that chance first.
Well, another chance has been given. The series is 1-0. We're going to go to map number 2 after the break, so see you soon.